I started a business, two businesses together. I opened Bangladesh market. I opened Anglophone Africa market. That is 51% market. A packaging coating business I was running. Passion and winning streak, which makes a person knowing the business, learning the business.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, a podcast series by World Development Corporation. I'm Sunny Pancholi, and today we have the privilege of speaking with an exceptional leader and a distinguished figure in the dynamic landscape of industrial and chemical management. With a remarkable career spanning nearly 3.5 decades, he has showcased unparalleled expertise in executive leadership, organizational restructuring, and product development. It's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Binoy Chakraborty to this podcast. Mr. Binoy, welcome and thank you for joining us.
Thank you, dear. Thank you very much.
So, Mr. Binoy, back in 1985, you were operating as a technical service manager, and after almost 3 decades, you started serving as a leadership advisor for a multinational company's boardroom. Right.
Yes.
So, time really changes a lot of things. Don't you agree with me, Mr. Binoy?
Exactly.
Right.
Journey is gradual increase in responsibilities and your exposure, which gives you enough knowledge about the way forward. Not only that, during my journey, I did my executive MBA from UK, which helped me understand the business world better. So that has really helped. Thank you.
Amazing. So I would like to ask you, Mr. Binoy, how do you think these 3 decades have contributed towards your growth, which led to the success?
Well, I will tell you, my journey started as a technocrat. I was postgraduate in chemical engineering. After B.Tech, M.Tech, I started as a management trainee. Thereafter, I got into a research and development area, where then moved to technical service, then moved to product management and business integrity. I learned a lot there in ICI. Then went as an assistant sales manager, means deputy sales manager in Western region, that is Mumbai. I was based out of Mumbai and I learned a lot. It is a city belongs to bachelor. Those days you are very young. We were really struggling our way. And by that tenure in Mumbai was excellent, superb. Then I moved to Pune. Pune was a lovely city to be in. A company gave me accommodation. The ICI system was all the management staff used to be provided with accommodation and a telephone. That time there was no mobile. Writing the report by hand, visiting customers and developing contacts with the customer. That gave me exposure to what is a customer's need, present need as well as future need. That was very important to look at. Their learning was that when you get a customer, it is tough to keep that customer. It is getting in maybe, say, in a scale of 1 to 10, it will be 5. But keeping a customer, it will be 9, 10. So there the relationship comes. There the way you proceed with them. That is very important. What I learned there. Then I moved to Delhi as a regional sales head of ICI. My things, it was a paradigm shift, but it helped because I was doing similar kind of job and started doing, and I was handling nearly 450 crores of business there. in northern region. And there I spent nearly 4 years. And it was great growth, mainly in industry as well as car refinishes and decorative field. There were 2 product launches in my region, which I handled. Then went ahead and left the company. Left the company to join company called AkzoNobel India Private Limited as a business head. Once I joined as a business head, another paradigm started. What was the paradigm? Paradigm was how to begin a new business. Startup. Starting from scratch, starting from telling to companies name spelling to product and struggling in market. Entry is very difficult. There are entry barriers. I started a business, 2 businesses together. That was, one is food packaging coatings as well as aerospace coatings and sealants. In both the area, my customer base was big can manufacturers like Kaira Can, Hindustan Tin, and very other customers, and opening the door, meeting with their management. And I'm proud to say we started exporting to Sri Lanka. I opened the Sri Lanka market. I opened Bangladesh market. I opened Anglophone Africa market. That is Kenya, Tanzania, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. 2 markets were opened, and it became in India one of the largest market shareholder. That is 51% market of packaging coating business I was running. So it was passion and winning streak which makes a person knowing the business, learning the business. Then aerospace coatings and sealants, my customers were HL, Jet Airways, Indian Airlines, and for all the coatings and sealant needs. Also helicopter division. Then these 2 businesses on acquisition, it went into PPG. I moved to another business as another startup in 2004. I started that business is called coil and extrusion coating. After that, I started another business which was called specialty plastic or wireless business, where all the mobile phones come with a coating. Do you know that? And that is the business with the wireless as well as electronics as well as automotive parts. Today, bumpers are coating with the body colors. So it has other layer of coatings. Then there is a mirror bezel, which is made of ABS plastic. Those coatings developed. As well as coil coating. Coil coating is wherever you go in the port, you will see huge warehouses with the color coated sheets over it and sides. This color coating has to be warranted. So these engineer fabricated buildings should have skin which should be very versatile, very good with a high zinc coating. These coatings are called coil coating. Extrusion, when you see a high-rise building, you will see huge windows and glass facade which is resting on aluminum frame. They have got 30 years warranty on those products. Those products we started selling. Not only here in India, we started selling them in Bangladesh, we started selling them in Dubai and Iran and Bahrain and these all places. Saudi, we started the business. Thereafter, in 2014 January, I left them, did my what is called advising for some time with the Crest Composite. Then I moved in my journey to West Africa, that is Nigeria, Lagos, as a managing director of a company called Nysil Limited. They were making all the resins, polymers, adhesives, and oil field chemicals. I ran that company for 2 years. In conjunction, I was in board and did a great job there. But somehow, place was not suiting my family. My son and my wife was there. They told let's call it a day, go back to the country. Then again, I came back. They were chasing. Iranian company was chasing me. And Composite was very keen that I join. I joined them, but not full time. I wanted free time for myself. I kept free time for myself. Though, when I left NICEL as a board, you will realize there's a 6 months notice. So it is not that instantly you leave. You hand over and other things. So many things happen. You will have to do the board resolution and so many things. That happened. And I was very, very happy that I have done huge spectrum of the job, which included also in my skill base, not only business development, winning the market and other things. I also ran finance, and my specialization in MBA was marketing and finance. It helped me understanding the finance very, very well. I can read balance sheets, I can read cash flow statement, I can read general ledger, and I can exactly find out what is wrong where, what is right. And I was able to ask very right question for MIS. So I used to get MIS. That was my process when I became country head in AkzoNobel. I started a system with my finance team that you will give me MIS. I will make my monthly report based on real-time data. And principle there is very, very clear. Principle is when you make the expenses, you immediately take it as a debit. But when you make a revenue, you cannot take as a credit. You can only take credit when you realize the money. So what happens? Expenses you'll have to take immediately, and revenues you'll have to only take once it is realized. So what happens? They go from 1 year to another year. So what you lose in this year, next year all the money comes. But at the same time, what you'll have to provision that if there is a risk. So you'll have to continuously do risk assessment, which while doing this independent director course, I was very clear that how entire risk assessment is done. There is a financial risk, there is operational risk. So I did all the risk assessment practically, so it was very easy for me to do it. The same thing in ESG, what has happened, I was going through as if I'm revisiting my journey. We were very strict. AkzoNobel was very strict worldwide when it came to health, safety, and environment. And there was a starting with the behavioral safety, actual entry and exit barriers, very clear writing on wall, do's and don'ts very clearly written. So I was very, very thrilled that I could do this ESG part during my job, and which really augmented me with this course this time. Thank you.
Amazing, Mr. Binoy. Your insights on how the past 3 decades have shaped your success are truly inspiring, truly. And it's evident that your journey has been filled with valuable lessons. All right. So moving ahead, Mr. Binoy, you are currently the leadership advisor to the largest polymer and resin manufacturer in India. Yeah. So what are your contributions towards keeping your company amongst the best in the industry?
See, what they do, they make unsaturated polyesters They make saturated polyesters. Also, they make various absolutely clear coating for uh, optical fiber. Optical fiber has got a glass rod in between, which gives it stiffness. Otherwise, it will bend and these fibers will break. So this stiffening things, resins, where glass fibers are joined together, this is called rod. It is done by extrusion. And earlier they used to make circular rod. Now they are making hexagonal rod so that slippage doesn't happen. So that idea came. Another thing which came is we introduced acrylic resin for automotive and industrial manufacture and defense coatings. One of the sunrise sector is defense sector, mainly its ancillaries and manufacturing. They need very versatile coatings. Also, I did consulting with Fulad Group, who are maker of coil coating paints, as well as various other ancillaries. There I could help them designing the product because I went back to my development days. I could work very clearly. Also in AkzoNobel in coil coating, being country head, all the main departments report to you directly. That includes finance, IT, finance and IT together, followed by there is HR and technical and operations and supply chain. All report to you with their department heads. So what gives me exposure that I being at heart a technocrat, I understand technical things well. So it helped me designing the product also. And I used to interact. I used to always remember human possibilities are enormous. I used to get boys and girls from universities. I used to spend time with them. I used to scavenge their mind. I used to direct them how to work. They were very indebted to me because I used to come down to their level and start thinking technically. And they used to work. And they have given me some of the products which in India was coming from Italy. This import stopped because of those products developed by those guys. They are today established in various their field. They are doing excellent work. And I'm very, very grateful to God that I got chance to mentor them and give them a platform. Today, they are very successful professions.
Really, really, indeed, it's very impressive to hear about your strategic contributions, Mr. Binoy. And your leadership is clearly a key factor in maintaining your company's position in the industry.
Yes.
All right. One more thing which is very clear and prominent is you are a pro environment and have served at Crest Composites and Plastics India Private Limited. Now, plastic manufacturing and sustainability are considered on two different sides of a scale. So, how did you balance them?
Well, only thing which was done is effluent treatment. Whatever effluents are coming out, they were channelized and released after all the tests, all the clearances for gardening purpose. Not directly released, that was introduced. Also, they used to use two products which are very material of high concern. One is styrene monomer, another is malic anhydride. So, malic anhydride is flakes. They sometimes become powder. And it's highly carcinogenic. It has to be charged in reactor. If it is charged in reactor, that area has got direct suction pump, which is then goes to separator, and those are very clearly disposed of through authorized disposing. So no powder flies. and the person is having mask, having air filter, and during charging, after it reacts, no problem. But during charging, it becomes a problem. Then lid is closed, and then only he can come out of that area. He will not come. And particulate matter is tested through particle tester. And if any high density is found, suction speed is increased. Suction is two stages. One near the mouth of reactor, one on the much higher level. So two suctions take away particulate matter. That is number one. Number two, on styrene. Styrene used to come earlier in barrel. It was introduced that it come in a tanker, and a closed loop filling of the storage tank happens. After closed loop storage tank happens, what is done is then it is charging goes through pipe, and those pipes where liquid was falling from top was taken below by the side, so that during stirrer it won't hit, but it will be released from bottom, so that all the things, there is no vapor coming out, and it will be done on the lid closed. So that decreased the smell at the site, and lot of gardening was introduced. A lot of greenery was introduced around. And first thing, your community is the best barometer that how your very industry of very concern runs. If you see where Kheda, this factory is, they have got people just less than half kilometer away, apart from. And they never complained about any smoke coming or smell coming. That was a great success. Earlier they used to complain. Now there was zero complaint. And we used to spend a lot of time with them because they're stakeholder. They must understand what is going on, and they should be very clear which precautions to be taken, and we could relate with them. That was my contribution.
Mr. Binoy, your ability to balance environmental concerns with industry demands is truly commendable. Your sustainable practices are a testament to your commitment to the environment, truly. All right, so moving ahead, Mr. Binoy, you have worked across several international locations and have closely handled corporate governance practices in your boardroom service. So, do you believe that India's corporate governance framework is on a par with global standards?
Well, I'll put it very clearly. When it comes to global companies, they have got lot of regulatory pressure on you, because anybody can go and complain and bring the company for very high compensation. So in West, companies are very proactive, very proactive. When it comes to India, because our maximum industry genre is promoter based, they give profit, more inclination, profit by whatever means, but that particular sphere has really improved, and now promoters are open that if you are telling something, as long as it does not cost them millions of dollars and it is gradual improvement, they are ready to adapt it. If I tell this particular things will take 5-10 crores, they will be immediately getting shaken. But if you go gradually, you do this, then do this, then do this, you reach and take so many of your boxes, and you do better. And society-wise, you will be very much welcome. Your what is called, wherever boards are to be kept, entry restrictions. Certain areas you will have to really put this area is area of concern. You'll have to write that please enter with these particular PPEs, personal protective equipment, and without personal protective equipment, nobody is allowed. That includes helmet, goggles, sometimes mask. So those restrictions are gradual. Safety boots are gradual. So slowly these companies have adapted, they have reached to a stage where they can take off. In West, they have got huge expenses on salaries, huge expenses on that every other frills. So their selling prices are very, very high. In India, you'll have to be very, very sensitive about how much your product, your customer is willing to pay for. Then you do your back calculation. They do cost plus and we do selling price minus in India. You understand? So
Absolutely, yes.
India is very, very different than what happens in West. If you go to Africa, it is cusp between the two. They are also very sensitive. They don't want to spend money. But at the same time, they are dependent on 98% of the product or raw material comes imported. So whatever pack of import, they'll have to get in that pack. When you're importing, say, styrene, you will get in barrels. So what we started earlier, people used to pour the barrel directly on reactor and it will smell, will be everywhere. We created a pump, closed pump, which runs with a pneumatic pump, which will then be charged with a flexible tube inside the reactor where everything is closed. So smell decreased, which is costing how much? Which is costing not more than $2,000-3,000. If you give them something which is costing $50,000 or $100,000, they'll be very shaken. Slow improvement, what I did there. And it was excellent. Another thing, 5S, keeping work area clean. That paid huge dividend because people never used to clean their equipment. In chemical, that is the biggest problem. Pipelines are having all the chemicals sticking over it. And this cleaning, this 5S was done every weekend. And we had made team leaders where we instituted the award that we will pay award for best kept reactor site. And we started giving that. They were very enthused. And remember, in Africa, African workers feel enthused if you talk about some award. They are very happy-go-lucky people. So only control you will have to be controlling the pilferage. And Nigeria is not known to be very safe place, but Lagos is. Lagos is much, much industrially developed and they are far, far better on that count. When I went to Tanzania and Kenya, I used to run the business there. I used to do the business there. Culture in entire Africa is almost comparable. Somewhere it is socialistic, somewhere it is capitalistic inclination, but things are same.
That was a very enlightening response, Mr. Binoy. Your international experience certainly gives you a unique, very unique perspective. Okay, so
in fact, what happens there is you understand the culture of people. When you go to Sri Lanka, different culture. You go to Bangladesh, different culture. You go to Gulf, different culture. Africa, different culture. So it allows you to understand cultures better.
Absolutely, absolutely. One needs to understand the cultural diversity to make the progress in any profession. All right. Okay. So let's move ahead. And Mr. Binoy, you handle several roles in your current position and address some of the most demanding responsibilities on a daily basis. So,
Yes.
what advice would you like to give aspirants who wish to kickstart their career?
Well, I will tell, go on doing whatever company assigns you to do. Don't cling, don't feel insecure to leave one place and go to other department. As many things you will do, spread your wings. You will become a more versatile manager. So learn as much as possible. Today, nowadays, it is being very compartmentalized. We come from an era when it was not possible to make it compartmentalized. They used to move people across depending on their inclination as well as their skill. Today, if a programmer sits and he's on that particular program, then goes into quality. In software, things are becoming extremely compartmentalized. Even I'm working in this desk, I don't know what is happening in next desk. This is not good. You ask for job rotation, learn as many things as you can till the age of 40. Then you can become more versatile and you'll be able to keep your job longer. If you are doing it specialized, you are not renewing your skill, you may become redundant. But if you do varied things, you will learn more and do well.
Incredible. That really sounds incredible. Your advice for aspiring professionals is incredibly valuable, Mr. Binoy. And the insights you have shared from your own journey will undoubtedly guide many in their careers. Okay, so now on to our last question for this session.
Yes.
Could you share how Directors Institute has contributed to your growth on your journey towards your boardroom journey?
As I was telling, that I was doing many things in AkzoNobel, many things when it comes to ESG, risk assessment, everything. So Director Institute's course is well designed. It gives me perspective of GRI and BRSR principles, which today I can definitely call it I learned. It has contributed its sessions run, video sessions learned with expert were very, very value adding, and my learning are grateful to Director Institute. In independent director course, I learned about corporate governance and all the SEBI, LODR, every step of things. Then uh, company law, 2013. Before that, after that, all the assessment, going through all the sections separately and understanding its valuation was invaluable to me. Invaluable to me. And I'm very grateful that I have attended both the audio visuals, video presentations from Director Institute. I have also attended 43 sessions from IIC suggested by Director Institute. So it was very rounding. I'm very grateful to Director Institute.
Mr. Vinod, this has been an insightful conversation. Your strategic leadership and forward-thinking approach truly make you a remarkable asset. And as you embrace the challenges ahead, Mr. Binoy, we at Directors Institute wish you continued success. We are sure even great accomplishments await you in the future. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us and sharing great insights about your career journey and your profession. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sunny. It was great seeing you. You are a bright young man, and may God bless you. And you'll do well. Thank you. You are a good
Thank
speaker.
you so much. Thank you so much for your blessings. Thank you. All right. So, to all our viewers, we look forward to sharing more inspiring stories and insights from remarkable leaders in our next session. Until then, keep upskilling and finding joy in your journey. Thank you so much and have a nice day.